Assalamualaikum, brothers and sisters. We are now at part 8 towards exploring few mathematical facts of Surah Al Kawthar, the smallest chapter of the Holy Quran. We know that Surah Al Kawthar is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna a'atainaka al Kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shani'aka huwal abtar. In the next slide, we see the abjad values of the 28 alphabets of Arabic language, and we all know these values that our Arabic language has 28 alphabets, and each alphabet has uh, uh, separate numbers, uh, and we all know these things very well. In this slide, we see that in table 2, the abjad numbering of first ayat is done. For example, we have that in a'atainaka al-kawthar. Here, alif noon is shown here, placed. A'ataina, since alif is repeated, given here, so alif is not shown in this slide. Uh, Therefore, Ain is placed at third place. Then Toa is fourth place, and so on. Uh, Here we see that Alif is here. Since Alif is placed at first, so here is not done is the same way. Um, I have to say that the calculation is made considering the surah as a whole. Since alif is not accounted, repeated alif is not placed here, or repeated any harfs are not placed here. So we see that though there are 15 alphabets in the first ayat, due to the avoiding the repetition, we have just placed 10 harfs here. Then in the second ayat, we see that fasolli li rabbika wanhar. Fa is the first time appearance. Swad is the first time appearance. Therefore, fa and swad is placed. Lam is actually seen in the first ayat. Suppose inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Kal al here is lam, so lam is not placed here. We have placed the alphabets as per the appearance, first appearance. Uh, that means considering the whole surah, the surah as a whole. Therefore, lam is not third half lam is avoided here. Lirabbika, this lam and ra are repeated because there was ra in the first ayat. So in this pattern, ba will come. Ba is the first appearance. One har, wow, alif, uh, noon is also these three are repeated in the or seen in the first ayat. So ha is will come at the fourth. So in this way, this table for second ayat is made. For the third ayat, for inna shani'aka huwal abtar, though there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 halves are here. But as per the first appearance, we see that these three halves are only can be taken. So for third ayat, the table will be like this. In a nutshell, the used alphabet in the at the first ayat is 10. In table 2, the used ayat in the second ayat is table uh, is 4 in table 3. The used alphabets and the third ayat is 3. These are the three ayats in table 4. We see that 10 plus 4 plus 3 makes it 17. And interestingly, 17 is a prime number. Next slide, we have changed our discussion in different pattern. Here, discussion will be made based on considering each ayat separately. That means here we made the calculation or collecting the harfs of the ayats as per the first appearance, and we have got this analysis value, and it is seen that this 17 is a prime number. But if we go to this slide, in the next slide, this discussion is made considering each ayat separately. So ayat based first appearance is actually placed here. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Here there are 15 harfs, but as per first appearance, this will be the word harfs here. That means 15 harfs though are here. Uh, Avoiding the repetition, we have collected these ayats as per the first appearance. And if we go mm, to this we see in this number, we see that this number is nothing but 150, 70, 9, 10, 20, 36, 500, 200. So 150, 79, and after that 10, 20, 30, 6, 500 and 200. That means combining all these numbers, we have these numbers. Remember that these values are actually abjad values, respective abjad values, those we have seen in the first in this slide. Actually, in this slide we have seen that these are the abjad values, and based on these things, the abjad values are put on here as well as in this slide also. Now come to the second ayat. Here also discussion is made considering each ayat separately. And here in second ayat is fasalli li rabbika wanhar. So we see that if we place the harfs as per first appearance, we have 10 harfs, and the respective abjad values are also shown here. It will be actually, so for Swad it will be 90. Sorry for this. Uh, so yeah, uh, and for Alif it will be 1. Sorry, it is a mistake. So the respective values are actually shown here. For example, for Lam it is 30. We see that for Lam it is also 30 in the table. This is for second ayat, and the for third ayat also same thing is made. That means as per first appearance, we put on the alphabets and as well as the respective abjad values, and combining all these, we got this number actually. Now come to the result section. Uh, uh, we see that this discussion is based on considering each ayat separately, and we know that Surah Al Kawthar has three ayats. This calculation is made according considering each ayat separately. Used alphabets at the first ayat is 10. Here we see that first ayat is actually 10 number ayats, 10 number ayats in table 5. Sorry, it will be 5, 6, and actually 7. I have to correct this. Uh, uh, so in first ayat there are 10 harfs or alphabets. In the second ayat there are also 10 harfs, and in the third ayat there are also 10 harfs. In total, it is actually 30, and this 30 is actually divisible by 3. In table in this table, that means in table 5, 6, and 7, in 7, arranging the numerical values one after another, a big number can be obtained, which is also divisible by 3. That means we have got this number at the first as the first ayat, and we have this number in the second ayat, and we have this number in the third ayat. Combining all these, we actually get this big number, and we see that these big number is actually the multiplication of these prime values, and this this big number is also divisible by 3. So we see that 3 here existence of 3 here, and we see the existence of the number 3 here, and also we see the existence of the number 3 here. And at the first discussion, we made it considering the surah as a whole, and we see a existence of prime actually here in this discussion. So in a nutshell, it can be said that a stunning existence of prime and three-ways divisibility are seen in this Surah Al Kawthar. Uh, and the structure of the surah is such that any change can cause mismatch in calculation. So much beauty in Quran. Subhanallah. That's all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.